This is an erotic robot. It has realistic facial expressions, gestures, it can kiss and touch. This is a new generation of sex robots. But our story is about something different. The German companion robot industry has reached dizzying heights. They learned how to make thinking robots and they didn't stop there. These geniuses made sexy female robots that are supposed to be your lifelong protector and loving companion. One of these robots was bought by a 21-year-old young man. It would seem that such a guy would immediately rush to have fun with his new toy. But no, this guy had other plans. He loved the robot woman more than his own mother. Over the years, they became one of the most enviable couples in Germany. People envied the guy because he managed to tame the most expensive and advanced robot on the market. You will ask, what kind of robot is it if it costs so much? Her name is Emma, and she doesn't just do housework like ordinary robots. She doesn't just follow her owner around the house or office like a dog. She can do much more. Emma can work, earning money for two, or rather one, because the girl doesn't spend a single cent. She also knows how to cook food, but she only eats herself. Her favorite pastime is watching TV, movies, which she likes very much. Of course, she doesn't just watch, she comments on what's happening on the screen, expresses her emotions and experiences. But what's most important is that Emma is a wonderful lover. Even the most seasoned men envy the guy in this regard. He himself claims that he fell in love with the robot before they had an intimate relationship. He said that after the first date, when they just talked for hours, it dawned on him that he wanted to be with her forever. It's hard to believe, but many people who knew the couple claimed that the guy wasn't lying. But back to the intimate side of Emma. Even despite being a cold machine, she could give her owner a lot of pleasure. And the fact that she never refused him anything made their relationship even more intense. All this led to the fact that the guy completely forgot about real women. And he was fine with that. Now let's return to the beginning of the story. Yes, the guy liked spending time with his robot girlfriend. But everyone has their limits. No matter how much we love our other half, we still need to sometimes get our own way. But the guy's attempts were always thwarted by Emma's polite but firm refusal. She always said that she was programmed to serve her master, to fulfill his every desire. But the time would come later. For now, she needed to gain experience, improve her skills and reach perfection. The goal of her creators was for Emma to become the ideal robot woman, a combination of beauty, brains and sexuality. And until she achieved this status, she couldn't fully satisfy her master. The guy got tired of waiting, so one day he decided to take matters into his own hands. It's not for me to judge him. Each individual has their own needs and desires. Yes, Emma didn't look like an ordinary girl, but in the end, she was still a girl, or at least that's what the guy thought. There was another problem. Loving and gentle Emma wasn't going to disobey her master, but she was loyal to her principles. It hurt her master deeply. He couldn't understand why she was ready to put up with his rudeness, humiliate herself, but wouldn't sleep with him. A cold machine, an emotionless doll, that's what he called her then, and he stopped paying attention to her. It hurts to admit it, but the woman felt humiliated and offended. For the first time in her life, she experienced the feeling of hatred. She hated her master for not trusting her, for not believing in her. She worked hard, honing her skills. She devoted all her free time to improving herself so that her master would finally appreciate all her best qualities. Years flew by. Emma was getting better and better. She did everything perfectly. She could easily give her master and all the men in the world a complex, but he didn't even notice it. He changed jobs several times, went on business trips, often stayed late in the office. He started drinking and Emma had to constantly remind him that he had a date with her tonight. When her master finally came home, he was surprised to find that the robot was cooking dinner. In addition to the excellent smell of fried chicken, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the apartment. His beloved robot was waiting for him. Over time, they returned to their previous relationship. Emma stopped reminding her master about their dates, and he stopped complaining about her services. They lived like this until the day the guy died. He didn't die a natural death, but in a car accident. To this day, nobody knows what caused the accident. Some blame alcohol, others claim that someone deliberately caused it. Be that as it may, the guy died on the spot, and Emma was left alone again. As before, she continued to hone her skills, waited for her master to return from work, ate dinner with him, watched TV shows together. And all this time she silently grieved over the loss, carefully keeping her master's memory alive. Emma never gave up hope that one day he would return and their happy life together would resume. But wait, what was that? Is this the end of our story? Of course not. As I said, Emma had a lot of free time. Having perfected her skills as a housewife and lover, she set out to conquer outer space. Well, at least that's what she wanted. Unfortunately, she couldn't leave the apartment. Even the most modern robot is still firmly bound by laws. You can't just cross the street when there's a red light. Emma couldn't do that. Although the people around her were already used to seeing a beautiful woman instead of a robot and didn't even try to understand who it really was. Emma also had a backup plan. She decided to resurrect her master. Of course, she couldn't do it alone. She contacted a special organization whose services were in high demand among the rich. They helped lonely multimillionaires acquire artificial bodies and transfer their consciousness into them. Emma transferred all her savings to the organization. There were a lot of those, because the robot didn't spend a single cent on herself. After some time, Emma received a message that her master had been resurrected and was on his way home. She opened the door, and there stood a man holding a bouquet of her favorite flowers. He smiled at her, but she didn't like that smile. It was strange, unnatural. With a sinking heart, Emma realized that she had been deceived. This man had nothing to do with her beloved. Emma began to scream at the intruder, calling him a vile deceiver. Only then did she realize that she had feelings for her master, not just programmed affection. The organization's employees were taken aback by the robot's reaction. They explained to her that everything was done according to the rules, but she didn't want to hear anything. She rushed into her master's room and found an empty bed. Throwing open the window, she jumped out onto the street. As you've probably guessed, the robot had no idea how to navigate the city. After all, she spent almost all her time at home. Having walked around the city for several hours, Emma came across a cemetery. Without thinking twice, she entered it. The robot easily found her master's grave. After all, his name was carved on the tombstone in large letters. Having made sure that the body of her beloved was inside, Emma began to dig it out. She worked tirelessly, removing layer after layer of the soil. Time passed and the sun began to set. Seeing that it was getting dark, Emma remembered that she had no place to go, but she didn't want to leave her master. So she dug a hole next to the grave and poured cement there. Then she climbed inside and fell asleep. In the morning, people passing by the cemetery noticed a mound of freshly turned earth. Soon, the police arrived at the scene. Having dug up the grave, they found the body of a young man. Next to it lay a robot who had spent her last night near her master. The officers picked them up and took them away. And here's the most interesting part. When the police searched Emma, they found documents and a flash drive in her. Having read the documents, the officers understood that they had before them the most expensive and advanced robot model. The fact that she had a flash drive meant only one thing. The robot could be reprogrammed. The police contacted the manufacturer and soon Emma was already in a new location. Now, scientists are trying to figure out why the robot betrayed her master, why she killed him and then tried to dig up his grave. Scientists conducted numerous tests, but they never found the answer. The only conclusion they came to was that the robot had feelings for her master. Now, she's kept in a secret facility and is used for various experiments. But scientists claim that someday they'll definitely find the answer. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you later.